Last night in Las Vegas, Knicks and Phoenix. Iggy Brazdeikis putting on a show, going to the basket for 2 of his 30. The Knicks, of course, traded up to pick Brazdeikis out of Michigan in the second round. Last year, tremendous good fortune getting Mitchell Robinson in the second round, and who knows, maybe Brazdeikis is going to be the second round pick this year. That is a tremendous surprise. Forced overtime last night, finished with 30 points, went 3 of 6 from downtown, 8 rebounds and 2 assists.
Wow.
The Knicks lost the game, but by far, John, that was the Knicks' best player last night.
Iggy got jiggy with it. He played really, really well. Scott Perry, another great find in the second round, just like he did last year, Mitchell Robinson. I mean, I can't believe how well he played. He played with so much poise. He played like he was a veteran out there and hit some big shots and big moments for him. I'm really excited for him, what's to come for him.
And John, you said that he played like a veteran out there, and it was one of those things where there was no hesitation in his game. Like, you saw those clips, him stepping into threes, knocking it down, going to the basket, no wasted movements. And to get 30 points on 19 shots, that's big, 11 on 19 from the field. So that lets you know he came in with the plan like, look, I'm getting mine. Y'all better catch up and catch up with me and do it.
Yeah, you were out there, Monica. What was it like to watch him?
Definitely. I mean, earlier, or not, the day prior in practice, I mean, the kid is taking it in stride. We gave RJ a lot of praise in terms of being able to take a backseat to Zion. Same thing here for Iggy to RJ. RJ, obviously, the higher draft pick. Everybody's super thrilled and excited about him. But Iggy's very much like, I can ball. Like, the time will come. And so that's what he showed us. By far, to me, the most impressive bucket was the 3-ball that tied up the basketball game, because that speaks to poise and confidence on a big stage. Now, he did pick up a delay of game warning because he wanted to pass the ball to the official instead of back to the other team. But he was feeling it. You're right. He was in his bag, getting jiggy with it. It was fun to watch.
You mentioned RJ Barrett. In the 2 games so far for the Knicks in the Summer League, he's gone 7 for 33. And last night, John, he had 8 turnovers.
Yeah, no need to panic, though. Just like Trae Young had a rough Summer League last year, and you see how he ended up this year. He's going to play better. The confidence is going to come. He just had a rough 2 games, that's all.
Yeah. As much as RJ is saying all the right things, if you're around, you can kind of feel the pressure around him. And naturally, for him as an elite athlete, he wants to rise to the occasion. We saw 7-year-old RJ in a Knicks cap. Yeah. He's working through some things. So I agree with John. I definitely wouldn't panic. But his parents come in with their PR rep, his agent, they're sitting next to Dolan. Like, there's a lot happening around this young man. And Summer League, you haven't necessarily had a ton of time to practice. So granted, maybe some ill-advised passes, but his teammates are still growing into him as a player as well. And so there's a continuity that we just haven't had an opportunity to see yet.
Well, it's like he's meeting his girlfriend's parents for the first time. Like, he's under that kind of pressure, right? You want to make a good impression. You're uptight a little bit. You don't know what to say. You're pressing a little bit. So that's why I compare that with RJ in these first 2 games that we've seen. He'll relax and get into himself. And I'm sure those are the conversations that Fizz is having with him, along with Keith Smart and the rest of the Knicks coaching staff down there in Vegas. But he'll get back to himself. Obviously, it's a lot on his shoulders of being in New York, being that guy, and him really putting himself in that position, saying, hey, we're going to do some big things. It's going to be a special time. But he just has to relax, get some more time, and be cool. You remember that. You remember that, meeting your girl's parents for the first time. You're a little nervous. I know I was.
Speak for yourself. Always calm.
Always cool.
And collected.
Stop it.
There you go.
Stop it.
Phlegmatic.
There you go.
Stop
Learn a new word here every night. Over now to Alan and Wally, guys.
The main thing, like when you're meeting the parents or anybody else, is be yourself.
That's it.
And that's what RJ Barrett really has to do, Wally.
He will. He'll eventually get it. Now, there are some concerns, and these are the concerns that we had coming in. He's a streaky shooter.
Yeah.
He's not a consistent shooter. And we're seeing right now he's not shooting the ball well from outside.
2 for 13 from 3.
Yeah, exactly. You need to set up your drives, and that's his strength. He's very strong when he gets around the basket. He can finish with both hands. He's got great feel for those floater shots and those mid-range shots. But in order to get to those spots on the floor, you got to keep the defense honest by making some outside jump shots. He's not doing that right now. As a result, he's forcing his drives. He's not comfortable, it doesn't look like, with the offense. He's trying to figure out some chemistry issues with his teammates, first and foremost. I wish one of the point guards would just go out there and say, hey, I got you. I'm going to get you going, get you a few open shots, get you a few open
Get him off
looks.
some screens like we saw. The very first play was scripted for him. Brazdeikis throws
That was
the oop,
perfect.
You know?
Yeah, the oop was perfect. And listen, after that, he's going to play well for himself. I think he's going to be fine. I'm just so impressed with Iggy. He has an NBA game. I didn't know he was that quick going to the basket. When he gets a step on someone, he's only 19, 20 years old, whatever he is. He seals his defender. He gets by his defender. Then he looks like he's finishing effortlessly over bigs down under the basket. And along with that, he's a good passer. I mean, he's aware of the situation. He's aware of the play that he's running. You have to be able to run pick and roll in this league, and he's very good at it already.
It's really amazing, too. When he was drafted, you know, he was almost having to tell people who he was. A lot of people weren't sure who he was.
I knew who he was.
In the Big Deal. Well, I want to get to that in a minute, but he kept telling
wasn't
people,
this player because Beeline didn't let him play like this.
But he was telling people, like, hey, I can play. Like, even RJ Barrett said, this guy likes to get buckets. You're going to see what he's all about. But I remember when you and I were texting each other on draft night, and we come over here and we're doing the show, and then you're just like, that guy's like, they got him? Like, you right away, and you do a lot of college basketball. Yeah. You were impressed with the fact that he was there in the second round.
I was totally impressed. I didn't realize he was actually 6'7". I didn't realize the athleticism we saw on the baseline. But there's some guys that have tailor-made games for the NBA because the NBA floor spreads out. You have to be able to play pick and roll, and you have to be able to make that deep three to space the floor and keep, like I said, keep the defense honest. In college, there was just too much congestion for him. You know, he still was their leading scorer. He averaged 15 points a game. But you can see, like, they had a very well-balanced team, Michigan, but you can see when he gets it going, and Judd Butchler just said, Iggy, here, we're running plays for you. He can go off, and he can get 30, and he can do it in a high percentage way, and he can carry the offense by also passing the ball to a lot of the other guys. So that's just an exciting thing, seeing him play the way he is, and his question mark's going to be defense, but he's looked very good on that on the floor too.
Yeah, it certainly looks like he belongs. When it comes to RJ Barrett, by the way, guys, there's one thing to think about. Zion Williamson's not playing anymore in the Summer League. He played about 10 minutes, and then he was done. John Morant's not playing in the Summer League. He's the highest pick right now playing in the Summer League. All eyes are on him, and he certainly does feel it, Bill.
All right, guys. Zion hurt Friday night. You're in Las Vegas. Yeah. Zion against RJ Barrett, Knicks against the Pelicans, and a developing situation with the earthquake there. What was that like?
So let's just make sure folks know that there were two. This was the second one. Friday one, there was one Friday or Thursday morning, and then this is the one at the game Friday night. And this is happening, and literally you just feel the stands shaking. And there was one other guy on the press row with me, and we did not know each other, but we definitely gave each other like the Notebook save me kind of looks, because we were like, what's going on? And then immediately I pick up my phone, I'm like, definitely second earthquake, going out on Twitter. Everybody watched the Jumbotron sway, and the speakers next to it in particular sway so much, but God bless
the players looked like they were ready to keep playing.
They didn't feel it.
Dunked.
They didn't feel it. We asked them the next day. They didn't feel it. The guys that were on the floor didn't feel it. We asked them about it the next day, but I was ready to come back to the East Coast where the ground does not move. I'll just put it that way.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back here. Thankfully, nothing more than a little bit of shakiness.
Yes, in Vegas.
For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.